We've made babies for My Hero characters, we've stabbed them with stand arrows, and we've creeped on their dating profiles, which saying it out loud is a little weird during Crystal. All right, but you know what we haven't done? Made them square up with Goku. Saying that out loud, I'm like, oh, that's not gonna turn out good. Think about it, Todoroki would hate that. In fact, I feel like most people in the class would hate that because it's a grown man going to school with the kids. All right, you know what? Anyway, so today UA is gonna get a few foreign exchange students from far-flung places like the East Blue, Planet Vegeta, Kona Village, and yes, even Venice, Italy. This is what I like to call My Hero Academia foreign exchange students, shonen protagonists. Lengthy title, but it works. Okay, let's start off with a guy who's guaranteed to cause the biggest ruckus at UA. Our boy Goku. Now Goku is like in his 40s in Dragon Ball Super, and he's a grandpa. So we're going to go back in time and grab Goku from when he was fighting Piccolo. Like Piccolo Jr., not King Piccolo. He was in his late teens at the time, so he couldn't go Super Saiyan yet, but he still realized the legend and becomes UA's very own Super Senior. There's no such thing as a Super Saiyan in this world, but for this video, we're giving him a quirk that's just as good. It's an emitter-based quirk that we'll simply call Ki. Get it? Because he has Ki in the show. Just like in Dragon Ball, Goku can shoot bright blue energy from his hands and even his feet. And yes, his signature move is the Kamehameha. With a powerful and versatile quirk, Goku would fit in on a lot of hero squads. But the first UA student Goku would zero in on is none other than Sugar Rush. Poor Sato would lovingly craft a welcome cake for UA's newest student, only for Goku to scarf it down with one gulp and ask when he'll get the next one. And just like that, Sato becomes UA's Chi-Chi. It's gonna marry Goku and have his children. Destined to spend the rest of his life cooking for Goku. But Sato gets off easy in comparison to Ojiro. Goku's convinced that Ojiro's also a Saiyan, but he's wondering why his tail is so massive. Actually, on the first night with a full moon, Goku tries to rip Ojiro's tail off in the dorms, just to save the other students. And in general, he thinks all the Dinomorph quirk users in My Hero's world are just evolved forms of the dinosaurs from Dragon Ball. I'm like, Goku's just pretty much confused the whole time. So yeah, it's definitely high school. Goku's an obvious star in the hero courses, but he's every teacher's worst nightmare. Only Eraserhead or Present Mike would be able to keep him in line. Eraserhead can just erase his quirk, and Present Mike is the only person alive who can out-scream him. Seriously, Goku's that kid who always asks to borrow someone else's nose, and always goes around the cafeteria asking if people are finished with their lunches. And that is one of the many reasons Bakugo totally hates this guy. Their quirks are similar, they're both loudmouths, and Goku's good-natured antics steal a lot of attention from Bakugo's bluster. But there's a silver lining. Bakugo and Deku have found a common enemy in Goku. While Goku's chaos rubs Bakugo the wrong way, it's his selfishness that pisses off Deku. Deku knows firsthand how important it is to work as a team, while Goku insists on fighting one-on-one. The man loves duels. Goku would probably even let villains escape just so they wouldn't get caught and he could fight them again. Homeboy fought Cell to like a standstill, he was done, and then gave him a senzu bean. Even Deku's gonna hate that. Like, all right, I get it, bro. I understand. Goku may give Deku a run for his money too. He'd be a perfect fit at Night Eye's agency. We know he can make Night Eye laugh. And with his optimistic attitude, he'd be a pretty good choice for the next symbol of peace. Just saying. To give him the full UA treatment, I'm thinking of giving him a support item that's basically the Flying Nimbus. It'd basically be a mechanized version of the real thing. He'll also have his power pole, probably with a fork on the end of it so he can take other people's food. But his hero uniform will probably just be his gi. He's a simple man with the ability to fire energy blasts from every part of his body. And because he's so simple, we all know what his hero name would be. Nothing cool or fancy like King Wukong, not even Kakarot, and definitely not Great Saiyan Man. He would just be Goku. Really is not that great with naming things. Now, if the teachers of UA didn't already have enough on their hands with Goku, I'm about to do them real dirty and send them in another piece of chaos. And by piece, I mean one of them, Luffy. I'm on it today. Luffy. And we're doing Luffy from One Piece is next. This bumpkin from Fuchsia Village hasn't seen anything like UA, but he doesn't really care that much, just like Goku. He's mostly here for the meal plan. Sato gets a break this time. Luffy goes straight to where the sausage is made. Lunch Rush's cafeteria. The Pro Hero's quirk is the only thing that can stand up to Luffy's appetite, but the one thing he won't be eating at UA is a devil fruit. But thanks to his quirk, Luffy still has the powers of a rubber man. One Piece is nothing if not the tale of how to master a dumb power to take over the world. So I'm thinking Luffy does pretty well with his gum powers. He can inflate like a balloon, repel enemy blows, bounce around, and stretch like Mr. Fantastic. Like Mirio, Luffy's a pro at making the best of a kinda shitty quirk. And that's why he's in UA in the first place. He's a versatile hero. Just don't ask him to do any water rescues, at least without some water wings. Luffy's always looking to build his pirate crew, which probably means he'd make for a pretty annoying high schooler. He definitely convinced some UA students to join his plan to overthrow the world government and become the pirate king, Mineta. Hey. I'm talking about Mineta. And with Sero in Class 1B's Kojiro Bondo in the mix, it'd be pretty easy to get an I am rubber and you are glue hero team off the ground.
Kojiro Bondo's the guy with like the holes in his head.
Oh.
Mention that.
Oh, the tropophobia guy that's making me feel weird talking about him now. Sero's got ranged attacks, Bondo's a literal glue man, which must be useful, right? And Luffy brings those well-rounded rubber attacks. In spite of the powerful alliances he can make at UA, I think Luffy would be a problem child, mostly because he'd follow Nezu around all day, convinced that he either is Chopper or could become Chopper if he just ate a Buster Ball. Nezu doesn't want your Buster Balls, Luffy. Leave him alone. One A's class president also has a hard time containing Luffy's enthusiasm. Ida just can't roll with their erratic gumball. The support corps students would also have their work cut out with Luffy. I'm thinking they'd craft some kind of stretchy uniform that Luffy could harden at will. Kind of like his armament hockey. As for his hero name, unfortunately, Fat Gum is already taken, or that would totally be Luffy. But as a homage to the chunky hero, I think Luffy would take the hero name King Gum, which is kind of like on the same level of homages that like rappers just add big or little after their name. This is Fat Gum, I guess I'm King Gum now. Which isn't much of a homage, it's you just saying, yo, I'm better than you. But all you have is a SoundCloud mixtape. Like, that's like pretty trash. Unless there's some stupider option that I'm not thinking of. But if you think of one, let me know in the comments. Oh no, Luffy would make for a very powerful hero who is also very annoying. I have a feeling Luffy would reject the whole hero biz and just become a vigilante. He's a pirate at heart after all. His whole shtick is overthrowing oligarchs and oppressors. So yeah, not exactly a government endorsed hero approach, but dude still gets shit done. I'm noticing a running theme with super OP characters who are also very ill-behaved. Sorry, race ahead. But I'm only gonna double down because the next person to join UA is none other than the originator of the sexy jutsu, Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto's always been a little but who can blame him? It's one thing for like your classmates to dislike you, but for your whole village, he's a little justified in my eyes, I get it. At least everyone at UA isn't convinced he's basically the reincarnation of a monster that is out to destroy all of them. So that's a start. He may not be a monster, but Kurama still shows up in the form of his quirk. Naruto's Nine Tails is a emitter quirk that works a lot like Tokoyami's Dark Shadow. Naruto can unleash a glowing orange fox to overwhelm his enemies, but he has to be careful. If he releases the Nine Tails too much, it will overwhelm him and completely take over. So Naruto has to carefully manage his emotions in the middle of a battle to maintain control over his quirk. Naturally though, Naruto and Tokoyami are gonna butt heads a bit. Naruto has a history with sullen, brooding types. Still, I'm sure they'd end up with a mutual respect for each other. I mean, they're both Jinchuriki. I mean stand users. They have emitter quirks. They both have emitter quirks. Even with a powerful quirk, Naruto's still a shinobi, so he's gotta have some shinobi support items with him. He's got the tried and true ninja tools, shurikens and kunai to attack from a distance, smoke bombs for quick getaways, and a bunch of different scrolls for whatever random situations may pop up. Naruto's bound to grate on plenty of students in the hero class. They can only hear, believe it, so many times before they start to troll him for it. I mean, I felt lame just saying it right then. But while they all just put up with Naruto, I think they'll be drawn to Hitoshi Shinso from Class 1C. Naruto has a history with sullen, brooding types. Once they got to talking, Naruto and Shinso would bond over feeling like outcasts and having all their peers giving them the side eye because of the way they were born. And yet, despite their jaded upbringings, they shy away from becoming villains and strive to make the world a better place as heroes. But while these two are shooting the breeze, Deku's staring daggers at Naruto. There's only room for one Naruto in My Hero Academia, and that's the green one. It doesn't help that Naruto has a crush on Ochako too. And he's blonde like All Might and Mirio. If Deku's not careful, Naruto will completely replace him. See, this is what happens when you have two shonen underdogs that will overcome any obstacles. So Deku or Naruto. Who out shonens who? It's like an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. And I think I think my nose is bleeding. I'm thinking about this a little too hard. Either way, Deku hates Naruto's guts, but who would this young ninja work with anyway? Well, I hate to do this to him, but I'm gonna have to say Eraserhead. Think about it, Eraserhead has that stern yet chill Kakashi vibe that Naruto first trained under. Also, Naruto will be able to push his quirk to the absolute limit without fear of losing control. And Eraserhead can just neutralize his quirk if things get out of hand. It's a good growing opportunity, and Eraserhead loves to see his students succeed. I mean, he's the future Hokage. It'll be worth all the eye drops, I promise. All right, so let me set the scene for this next one. You walk into class and then boom, Giorno Giovanna. He's even there before Ida, who's the freaking class president. His life in the mob has always taught him to be prepared, you know? But even being the first one there, he doesn't say a word to anyone. Mystery is the key. When Eraserhead calls on him and asks him to introduce himself, he stands up, looks out the window and says, I, Giorno Giovanna, have a dream. Suddenly, he's the Austin Powers of UA. Women want him, men want to be him, and he's from Europe. For what that's worth. It's good that he shares that one piece of personal information though, because that's how he meets Aoyama. These two gentlemen dress with flair and appreciate the finer things in life, like cheese and drinking tea and posing. In fact, are we sure that Aoyama isn't a transfer student from the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure universe? No one understands the importance of flashy poses better than that guy. Giorno's also pretty chummy with Koda and his Annie voice quirk. Just like a Stan, golden experience, Giorno's emitter quirk can give life to ordinary objects. He can turn stuff into animals like snakes and fish, but he can't control the animals once they're moving. That's where Annie voice comes in. Koda can coax Giorno's creations into doing whatever they want, so they can basically have an army of creatures to do their bidding. They would make a powerful hero team, but that's only if Giorno feels like it. That's the thing with Giorno. He's got a good heart and strong convictions, but he doesn't exactly operate within the law. Like, someone can't tell me he can't use his quirk because of some stupid license. As a mobster, Giorno's used to going out on his own and doing things himself. Not a villain, not a hero, like a gang star, if you will. I doubt Giorno would ever wear UA's uniform, but even if he did, he would have to accessorize. It's not just for show either. Giorno's accessories double as his support items. He can use his ladybug brooches to create whatever he needs in a pinch. Even getting Giorno to come to class would be tricky. I can picture Ida chasing him around the halls of UA only to get tangled up in a water fountain turned bramble bush. If Giorno had his way, he'd pull a Yusuke Urameshi and hang out on the roof, wind blowing through his hair, posing for nobody and everybody at the same time. So yeah, Giorno doesn't respond well to the whole school thing, but when it comes down to it, he'd be the most dedicated for fighting for justice, especially against the Shie Hisaikai, an underground organization that deals drugs to destabilize Hero Society. While the other heroes were organizing a plan to raid their headquarters, Giorno would already be bombarding Overhaul with the 7-page, even though his is like a lot higher than mine. I was very low.
Yeah, why do you always do that low?
Yeah, whatever. Muda. I love you, Cloud. I never hurt you. Well, you know that. As far as work studies or internships go, you can imagine Giorno would be in high demand. Recovery Girl could always use an extra hand, and Giorno's healing abilities would give her some much needed rest, especially when Deku's around. Still, it's not like Giorno's gonna hang around some little old lady. Best Genius would try to recruit him for his fashion sense alone, but Giorno's tastes are beyond his reach. Seriously, after working with fashion icons like Bucciarati, Giorno wouldn't be caught dead working with someone whose entire outfit is just pants. Now, I figured Giorno would partner with Gang Orca. You can't deny that Gang Star and Gang Orca have a nice little ring to him, and he could be Giorno's right-hand man for when he eventually runs the whole school. It's only a matter of time until Principal Nezu bows down and kisses Giorno's hand. Okay, between Saiyans, pirates, ninjas, and gang stars, all these transfer students have done nothing but cause problems. Thankfully, Eraserhead can give his eyes a rest knowing that our next exchange student is always a good boy, even when he's slaying demons. As a crow-carrying member of the Demon Slayer Corps, Tanjiro knows how to honor hierarchy and follow rules. I mean, yeah, he headbutted the wind pillar that one time, but come on, we all know that guy had it coming. I'm sure he'll learn the ins and outs of being a UA student. Really, his biggest struggle is gonna be the whole man out of time situation. Each of our shonen boys so far have come from worlds where seemingly anything can happen, but the wildest things that cross Tanjiro's path are demons. Jumping from Japan's Taisho period to the present day is gonna give Tanjiro a brutal case of culture shock. I mean, even in his own time, he was just a simple country bumpkin who grew up in the mountains. He hadn't even seen a train, let alone a smartphone. Well, he'll just have to pull a Captain America and get caught up on everything with something far more scary than trains: the internet. You can probably guess that Tanjiro's gonna be carrying his black Nichiren sword as a support item. And hey, with Nezuko safe at home, he could pack his lunch in that wooden box every day.
I don't know if Nezuko is safe
If
at home. Yo,
nah,
bro,
homeboy's got a demon in his bag the whole school day for sure. No one's telling me differently. But if you think about it, he's already got a few mutant-type quirks going for him. He's got his incredibly hard head, his incredibly sharp nose. Both quirks have been super helpful in his fight so far, but come on. A hero called Demon Slayer has to have something a little more interesting than a thick skull and a sharp sense of smell. So let's turn his total concentration breathing technique into a quirk. Anyone in the Demon Slayer world can use it, but let's make it a power exclusive to Tanjiro and My Hero. Also, you know how Tanjiro sees the strand when he gets the perfect opportunity to slay a demon? That could be a special ability of his, like a checkmate finishing attack. We don't have to worry about Tanjiro's strength as a hero. He's got the strength and the spirit to succeed at UA. I'm more concerned about him making friends. I mean, he's a good guy for sure, but getting thrown 100 years into the future is probably gonna shake everybody up. First of all, he'd probably assume that anyone with non-human features would be a demon. I'm sure a bunch of UA students would have to hold him back from attacking Mina or Shoji, especially that bug dude from Class 1B. Dear God, I want to fight him. Okay, Tanjiro's not that aggro, but he'd still be confused. Probably figured Tokiyami's head was a bird mask like Inosuke's boar mask and probably try to take it off. After a few awkward conversations, he'd end up rolling with the goon squad that is Mineta and Kaminari simply because they'd approach him first. You know, they'd really rub elbows with Tanjiro once they found out he had a sister. At first, things might get lonely for Tanjiro at UA, but his good nature would eventually shine through. He's got a good head on his shoulders, and his compassion would make him a star hero. Even as a demon slayer, he knows the value of life and does everything he can to protect people at his own risk. Is there anything more heroic than that? And hey, I'm sure Edshot would appreciate Tanjiro's old school Japanese style and take him under his wing. Tanjiro may be the only exchange student that Ida could hang with too. They're both serious, honorable, and determined. I mean, anyone's an upgrade from Mineta though, right? And look, him and Deku can bond off of how cool they think the color green is. And I know you guys are probably all thinking, who else can we add to the UA roster? Well, let me know in the comments below and maybe we might do them. So let us know. I'm Kurt, this is GetintheRobot, main NYC, because literally that's where I'm at while I'm talking.
And because we can't move to Japan.
We also can't move to Japan.